Woo! Good morning, boys. Let's get it. Time to make some money. Let's make some money. All right, let me get an idea here what we did. We're still kind of just going sideways at the highs. Literally chop, chop, chop. 1, 2, 3. Weird morning here. And then 4, 5 choppy. Just choppy, choppy, chippy chaps here. So I guess if we're going to anticipate some of this chop to continue, okay, we want to just be trying these outside edges. What was this price here? I like that. I like that to be a decent support. Is this overnight as well? No. Okay. So we swept that. We're still hanging out. I haven't gone back to Asia yet. Okay. Hanging out at the VWAP right now. Hanging out at the VWAP, kind of not anticipating a ton of action like we haven't seen the last couple days. Just kind of some sideways price action. If we can break out above this line, that'd be pretty attractive as well. Not a whole lot going on, though. We've kind of just been slowly selling off since yesterday. Yesterday's price action was ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. And now we're here. Still kind of being ugly, honestly. Just not a lot of price action. That's we've been going sideways last couple of days. Overall, the VIX, which is kind of like the volatility market, to show the volatility of the market, it peaked up during this last run here, or I think it went down like 13% or something like that, and then we went back up 13%. So usually when you see a giant swing in VIX like that, or anytime, you just go look at it, VIX, and we start seeing that type of stuff, you can usually see a good amount of consolidation. And now we're looking at, like, you know, about a week consolidating so far. So we'll see what happens. A break above this trend line could bring us kind of towards overnight highs. Currently kind of already over London highs. Failure to get above that trend line and this VWAP here would be interesting. Kind of anticipate a lower send then. Opening print price was down here at the 278s. So, yeah, it's a couple things that we're looking at. I want to be patient. No reason to jump into anything too early. Oh, the VIX is up 6.9% today, so keep that in mind as well. Want to see the reaction here. We're up about 60 points from the opening print price here in the first 11 minutes. We ripped up to VWAP and this trend line. Now we're kind of just consolidating. If we can continue to hold this and get a push, we could see some higher prices. Kind of forming a tight little range right now. See if we can get some continuation. See if we can get a breakout here. Nasdaq's trying the 350s now. Trying the 350s, trying to get above this trend line. We've just been going sideways the last week or so. Overnight highs up here. Coming down to the first dip of the opening market. We've got a kind of decent bottom down here. Formed with the market open. Pre-market kind of gave us a little bit of a base as well as we ripped back up into this trend line for pre-market. Kind of fell off, but now we're reclaiming. So if we can continue to hold this would be bullish for me. I'd be looking for a long. There's nothing telling me that that's going to be the top there. So I think we're just going to buy first pullback here. Buy first pullback here, something like this maybe. That time of day, brother. It's that time once again, my friend. Good morning, Saucy. Hope your Wednesday's off to a good start, buddy. Hope you had a good night. Hope the little man slept and you got some good rest. And, yeah, carry on. We carry on. Already looking for a longs, I think, here. As long as we can hold above this move, I might wait for the first 15-minute range. Right now we're looking something like this, but this will probably grow. This will probably grow a little bit. Here we go. Still getting some expansion. You can see on the hourly here, we're slightly starting to get this breakout. Definitely going to want to be patient. Let this first 15 minutes fully play out here. I'll adjust this as that happens. It's the last minute of the candle, so this might be our top for the range. I'm just going to pre-mark it, assuming that it will be. And now we look for a pullback into like... Yo, Sylvain. Good morning again, man. How are you doing today? Awesome to see you back in here, bro. Good luck on the charts today. Hopefully we can make some money. I'm already looking for the longs. We had this trend line that we're kind of starting to break out of. We've been going sideways. We have overnight high here. As long as we can get a pullback into one of these prices around VWAP and find some support, I'm going to play along looking for some continuation. First 15-minute range, we are up about 90 points in this first 15 minutes. So I'm going to look for a little bit of a pullback, either VWAP, maybe the 50% bottom of this little consolidation that we had in the first couple minutes. Something like that. We might just get a pullback into the trend line and get it moved, but let's see what happens. This guy's talking over me. How impolite. How impolite for an ad. Right now, the market is accepting some higher prices. The last few days have been pretty stagnant. VIX has been going crazy. Volatility in the markets have been insane. I'm doing fine. 2 more accounts down. Hope to validate the 2 I have left. Hey, man. Okay. 2 down so far. No problem. Our resilience as traders is able to take a loss and stomach it and still be rational to find a better spot to find another trade. Right now, we're kind of just hanging out at the top of this 15-minute range, trying to break out of it a little bit. I'm anticipating a retest of possibly VWAP, maybe this trend line. Having 50% be so close is also something I'm kind of considering. For a long, we're looking for the longs. But 2 accounts is more than enough, Sylvain. Good luck with those, brother. Let's make some money on them, huh? Let's make some money. Market's ripping out of the, trying to break out of the 15-minute range now. EMA is aggressively curling. We've already crossed over the VWAP. Already aggressively curling. I think I'm gonna put our order down at this 50%. On the bottom of these wicks, bottom of this range, there's a lot of reasons I like it. We may not get a pullback into here for a little while, but I'm going to be a little bit more patient. The last few days we've been seeing a very choppy morning market, so I'm not seeing any reason to, you know, try to get early on these moves. There hasn't been a lot of urgency. Not a lot of moves haven't been happening quickly. They're not leaving without people. You're always getting a lot of retest offers in this current market conditions, so I'm just going to be patient. Right now, we're just up about 90 points from the opening print price, kind of going sideways like we've seen a lot of lately. Still just hanging out at the top of this range right now. Getting a little bit of a pop here. Lots of liquidity here. Lots of liquidity up at these prices yesterday that was formed. Yesterday's price action was something, man. That was god awful. It's just really unattractive. Left a lot of liquidity though, so we'll see what happens. Today we're kind of selling. We're kind of just finding some buying support right now. Like to see it. The longer we hang out at these highs without getting a pullback, the more this EMA curls above this VWAP, the less likely I am to look for this entry at the 324s, only because we're going to continue to kind of stretch higher, and so the pullbacks won't be as deep, I don't think. Maybe be looking for a pullback towards the trend line here, which is also a pretty clear supported bottom earlier. So that may be our first move here. Kind of a little trend line touch. With it being right below VWAP, if we continue to wait, VWAP could continue to curl, and that might be our entry. So right now, just let the market move. It's been open for 15 minutes. We'll find a good spot. Being up 100 points directly isn't offering a whole lot right now. So Saucy Man, when are you firing another account, bro? Sylvain's in here trying and getting accounts going. That's I know Will is too. I know he had some he actually ended the day green yesterday. That was awesome. Juan, I don't know how he ended his day. I know he ended up blowing an account and being down a couple, but we'll see what happens when they check in. Patience is going to be the name of the game right now. There's no reason to be rushing. I mean, we've seen pretty stagnant markets. The previous conditions were beautiful, volatile, lots of opportunity. Right now, they're much more slow and calm. So just changes the way that we got to be looking for entries. We're getting a push now, trying the 21,400s. NASDAQ still just going straight up from market open so far. Opening print price about the 277s. Up about 120 points. and finding higher prices. Let's see what happens at the 400s here. You can see how aggressive this EMA curling is. Usually when you see that, it tends to continue, but we'll see. It'll be a couple weeks for this guy. Couple weeks, huh, buddy? Couple weeks. Not even like next week, just one account. One account a week. Or this week, you haven't even used it. Holy shit, starting the day with a winner. Yeah, Tim. Let's go. W's in the chat for Timothy Neto. It's been a tough little run, but that's a fucking awesome first trade, buddy. Great first trade, Timothy. Means the man's took a long. Where'd you take a long off? VWAP or this breakthrough or something? We're looking for a long too, but we're gonna look for a pullback now. We're a little bit too extended. We got to rip into the 400s, 406. Now we're getting a bit of a dip. 15-minute range. We still have barely retried since breaking out. The girlfriend won't be seeing her first check for a couple weeks. Okay. Okay. I understand, brother. I actively understand. She's back to work, though, huh? That's cool. You guys found a babysitter for the P-Man? EMA, strong still. We're about to get a first test of it to gauge its strength. All this morning we've been riding it, though, so we'll see. This is a pullback into the EMA and the top of the 15-minute range. Probably a pretty decent chance to get along here. I'm going to be a little bit more patient. And I'm going to adjust our price as well. To kind of be like a VWAP slash trendline retest. 5 at the EMA, 935, then added 5 more at the break of the high. Word, so you rode the EMA at the 35, yeah. Solid buy, buddy. I like that you added 2, that's sick. The problem is that I don't understand, I don't speak English. I don't speak English, I'm French, sorry, but I understand when you say my name. The best thing is to write me in the chat so that I can translate. I did not know that, Sylvain. I love that. Cool to know that you're from France. I didn't know that. That's awesome, Sylvain. Got to dip into the EMA and the top of this 15-minute range. We found some support. At the moment, it kind of seems as though, which was I was saying, it could be an option for sure. We're going to be a little bit more patient here, though. Getting another test of the 400 level, it looks like. Strong reaction off the top of this 15-minute try and the EMA. Like I said, when the EMA is really aggressive like that, it's usually a lot more supported. Plus, we've been riding it all morning, so you can feel a little bit more safe taking that long. This music's a little too dull for me.
If you're trading, you need to
Get a little bit better tunes going on here. Hopefully. Hopefully is the keyword. Market's at this 400 price. Nasdaq's down about 0.25% so far. Yeah, he is. Sylvain's the man. Cool to see you tapping in from France, dude. Wicked awesome. Hanging out this 400 price right now. We're still up about 120 points from opening print price. We took a little dip into the 15-minute range and bounced out quickly again. Brett, you're here bringing the vibes too, brother. And you're the man for that. Yes, thank you very much, and thank you for your work. I love following you. Good job. I'm hoping to finally validate an account, but I've never managed to do it. Well, you know what they say, buddy. That means you're right on the way. All right, let's see what happens. Getting a dip now. Trying the 15-minute range again. Building a bit of some structure. I think the better pullback will still be like a VWAP try here before we... We'll see what happens, though. We may just continue to hold this 15-minute range and find some support. We have officially kind of broken out of this trend line that we were forming. Finding some support from the buyers. They got it back into the 15-minute range now. Let's see what happens. We're leaving our order down at a VWAP / trend line try. We're at the 3140s, what I'm looking for a fill at. Or the 340s, I mean. 340, we're looking for a long attempt. Pulling into the trend line after breaking out in the VWAP. We'll see what happens. And immediately finding some support on the 15-minute range again. You can see the buyers, as soon as it kind of got into that range, they found some support. We'll see what happens. Either we'll continue to use this as base, or we'll just keep dipping in. You can see as soon as we got back into this 15-minute range, we're finding some more buying structure. If the buyers can keep holding this above the EMA still, that'd be interesting. Sellers, though, turning this into a pretty decent wick. Pretty strong move right there by the sellers, I'm not going to lie. Inverted that candle, kept it back in the 15-minute range. Strong move. Honestly, I think you could take a short off of this attempt to break out of this 15-minute range again right here at D75s and ride this down to 60 to get a pass. But we're going to be patient, wait for a bigger pullback kind of into this VWAP that we're looking at. VWAP in this trend line. Buyers are clearly still here for the day and attractive. I mean, look at the way they're responding to these candles. So, building a bit of a bull flag, strong pull, building out the rest of the triangle now. I would really like a dip into this price before the continuation, but look at the volume here. Look at the volume here. Wow, 10 a.m. news. Look at the volatility. Holy. It's going to change our bias a little bit. Strong move. We're going to move our order up now a little bit. See if we can get a fill at the 15-minute range. Or at least near where this bottom, where this wick started. It's been several months, but I used to have my own account, but my accounts have burnt up. I'm trying to switch to a Topstep account to be more secure, but my mind's not working. It's been several months, but you had to switch to your own account. Used to have my own account. Now I switched to prop firms. What was that push to really quickly? Ooh. I think this move definitely continues. I just wanted to see a little bit of a dip there. Couple months though, man. Still, you need definitely give yourself some time. Trading is really hard, and think about it this way: would you be a professional doctor if you only had a couple months? You know what I mean? Or professional anything? You know, if you want to be a professional trader and make money, definitely takes some time, and a couple months really isn't that long. But your mind not working, I definitely understand that part. I definitely understand looking for we're still hoping to hold this trend break out here. Let me draw a little I kind of wanted to retry the buy this 15-minute range, but we may not get that. If we do get a fill now, I don't know if I love the continuation of that candle, honestly. We're going to try it. We've been supporting the 15-minute range. We're going to take a first try here. Every time we've been dipping into this 15 minutes, we've been finding some support. That 10 a.m. news, let me take a peek real quick, see what that actually was. I feel like we could get filled, though. What was that news? Come on, Topstep. Thank you. These are signs that the U.S. could be interested in a deal. Deal with the EU, huh? That was at 9:49. That wasn't even 10, so. We're kind of hanging out at this previous 400, failing to break out a little bit here. I'm going to readjust. Still look for this VWAP touch at the moment. I'm not really loving this 15-minute range pullback. If we can't carry through, this wick is kind of, I anticipate to be traded through, but we'll see. Kind of anticipating this wick to be traded through. We continue to hold this EMA and find some support like they have all morning. We should just keep carrying higher. For overall liquidity, this was overnight high that we almost just swept. We kind of fell just short after that news. Still like it for a potential break, like I said. Still riding the EMA, finding higher prices. 10 a.m. candle news. 10 a.m. candle wick is up here at the 441s, about 30 points from that right now. Hey, Twister, what's up, brother? Happy to see you check back in, man. How you doing today? How's the old charts treating you? How's the Wednesday going? Nasdaq's up about 130 points from opening print price. 10 a.m. news candle was pretty bullish. We're still supporting this 15-minute range. First time the EMA hasn't been able to hold price. Let's see what happens here. Oh, dude, that's amazing. Happy to hear that. W in the chats for Twister. Love to hear that you're green and ending it, man. Good discipline and way to go. Me, I haven't taken any trades yet. We were looking for a pullback into the VWAP after we kind of ripped out and didn't get a fill here. And now we're just holding the 15-minute range. So still haven't found a good spot yet, but we're happy with it. Heck yeah, Brett. And heck yeah, Twister, man. That's awesome. You a NASDAQ trader? You must be if you're into our stream, but NASDAQ's the way. An NQ, baby. The Qs. Give me the Qs. Yes, sir. Hell yeah, Timothy. Love the motivation, man. And also, it's just facts. Like, just keep going. You can change your whole life. Yeah, NQ and sometimes gold. Gold too, huh? Cool. Gold too. I've never traded that. Never really traded that market, but I know it kind of tends to be pretty smooth moves when it does move, right? It's cool. Yeah, I haven't dabbled with gold yet. Price right now is hanging out at the 400 still. Not a whole lot going on. Since that news candle, we've just kind of been going sideways. Still holding the EMA and respecting that, though, so we'll see what happens. Still kind of looking for a retest of this trend line and the VWAP. This might continue to curl, though, and our next best price might be this previous bottom at like the 360s. We'll see what happens. NASDAQ slowly just inching higher right now. Last few days have been pretty iffy, to say the least. If you can look over here in the hourly, we've just kind of been going sideways, consolidating a lot, which makes sense after the volatility we've been seeing overall. Giant dip in the market and then a giant reclaim of the market. Causes for some sideways prices now that we're back up here near essentially highs, you know, 21,000, 21,500. I think things are going to slow down a bit again. I hope they don't. I like the volatility. I like the chances, but it seems like that could be the case, at least for a little while longer. EMA has been holding price all morning. Makes me think that we could just take a long here off this EMA and ride it right up, but it's not our strategy. But right now it is working. Long right now off the EMA off the 400s, ride it to 415. Come on, come on. Yes, hard work pays off sooner or later. The worst thing is the mind and impatience. That's what's killing my trading. Hey man, you and a lot of other people, especially being a couple months in, you know, give yourself some patience or some give yourself some leeway there, because mastering the urgency to participate in these markets, like, because that's what I would consider impatience. Like, you see a move, you see some candles flickering, you see the opportunity, you want to participate, which is so natural. But what I would recommend, Sylvain, for that, which I know you might not be able to hear me, but find a setup, you know, one setup that you love, and then you're only looking for that or for your strategy. So if it's not there, then the discipline shouldn't be hard to not take a trade or be impatient because you're looking for that. We're getting a dip into this 15-minute range here. Let's see what happens. I'm hoping to see a little bit of a pull into the VWAP, but we may not get it, especially because the EMA is so strongly curled. Let's see what happens here. Sylvain, I'm gonna type this out to you. 100%. Your trading strategy is only a small part of finding success. It's much more about managing your emotions and developing an intuition with the market. Absolutely, man. Real success. I'm going to try to type this out too. Sylvain, think about it this way. You're taking trades, right? And you're learning and you're losing and you're being emotional. Dude, that's a great spot. That means you're literally learning. Like, you're actually getting better. So you're so, just keep going, man. You're so close. Getting a retest now, this 15-minute break. We didn't quite get in there. A little shallow, and now we're below the EMA. It's kind of the first time we've given up the EMA all morning. There's other ways to build discipline too, right? Like, discipline isn't just built on the charts or the psychology of it. We can practice these things throughout our normal day-to-day lives. Finding some more support here. We never even got into the 15-minute range, but buyers are still saying that they like the price. Pushing back above the EMA now. They've already reclaimed it. So, I just want to help you. I just want to, like, pour information into you, but you got it, bro. You're on the way. I love seeing it. Currently below the EMA again. See if the sellers can finally get this back into the 15-minute range here. Every time we've gotten there, it's been a buy, so that might be our play. Just kind of look for a pullback into this at the 372s. We stopped a little short at the 76s. This is consolidation, though. This is some decent structure for continuation if you are along. We might get a pull into the 63s, its previous bottom. I really would like a VWAP touch, but we may not get it. I think the biggest part for me, Sylvain, was when because again, we take a lot of losers as traders. It's very normal to lose. But when I was taking losses, and the way that I was thinking about the money, right? Like, I was like, because I work for my income, and so when I was thinking about it, I'd be like, oh man, I just lost, like, if I was down for, however long, I'd be like, oh, I just lost a paycheck or 2 paychecks. But it's like that psychology held me back in my trading way more than anything else. Because now when I take a trade, win or loss, I'm pretty detached from it. It's going to happen or it's not going to happen. It's pretty much out of our control. We do what we can do. We find our spot that we like, put a trade on, and that's it. After that, there's nothing we can decide or do. And so it's like, everyone has their own things, but it's just, for me, when I accepted the fact that it's really out of my control, it's completely random, I just found a lot more comfort and a lot more ability to take trades. And then from there, once you're a little bit more comfortable, things kind of happen in a way that you can't fully predict, just because when you're more in a calm state and able to, be a little bit more observant, things can happen for you. Yes, and the shooting window is very narrow in Topstep account. Maximum loss limit 2,000 forces us to be very, very good. It does. It's a tight window. They want you to prove, any prop firm, they want you to prove that you can find profitability long term. That way they can trust to give you some funds, obviously, but it's a tough challenge. And once you start figuring it out for yourself, it'll start happening. Like, once you pass that first account, man, Sylvain, you pass that first account, you're going to just start opening windows and passing a bunch of accounts. And then the next little obstacle will be getting a payout, right? You'll have multiple past accounts, but maybe still struggle to get a payout depending on your strategy. Maybe you crush it right away. Also a very real possibility. But each level has like a small little learning curve, right? Because then you get to fundeds, or you get to using prop firm allocated money. Then it kind of changes the mindset a little bit. But hey, man, you're right there. You're doing all the right things. You're showing up. You're learning the psychology. It's just a matter of time. Right now, price is still holding below the EMA. We've gone sideways almost pretty much directly. We're still at the 400 since that candle push there. Since that 10 a.m. candle news where we kind of got some insane volatility. Now we're not really going much else. This is a decent structure for continuation, but I want to see a little bit of a better dip. Right now we're just going sideways. Market's up about 120 points from opening print price. So hopefully the bulls can take this on and we just keep going up today. It'd be nice to break out of the sideways range we've been in. Just been going completely sideways, consolidating. Consolidating after the giant moves we've had. Makes sense, but it's painful. Let's get a dip into this 15-minute range. Maybe the VWAP. Get a trade on. I really want to see a dip into this this price here that we're looking for. And the VWAP would be very great. The longer we wait, though, the more VWAP's going to keep curling, and then that changes our trade. If VWAP curled up to this previous bottom, that will be the next spot. I'd be willing to try it. Otherwise, we're still going to be hanging out for this fill. Might slowly adjust as VWAP curls, but now that it's broken out of this trend line, that's kind of what we're looking for. It's what we're looking for here. Nasdaq's trying the 21,400s once again. Had a little bit of resistance here. We haven't really been able to break out necessarily. Just kind of been hanging out. What are we seeing here? I was checked out for a little bit. Right now, Saucy, there's not a whole lot going on. We broke through with that. With this morning, we've just found some continuation. 15-minute range has been supporting us. We're kind of going sideways. We're at the 400 price still. But now that you're here, actually, we're getting some momentum. Pushing back towards this wick high. If we can break through these 410s, we should easily be able to take out this previous wick at the 440s. By the way, everybody here watching right now, I really appreciate you guys. If you could just hit the like button, it helps me a lot. Helps find us some more traders to come hang out with us, and yeah, it just means a lot. So Nasdaq is still at the 400s. We haven't been able to really claim and hold it yet. Every time we've gotten here, we've found some selling. So let's see what happens. This 440 is almost overnight high, but it's actually shy by a couple points. 444, so it's shy by literally 4 points, which makes me think we're going to go take this wick and overnight high. Let's be patient. These 410s area has been the obstacle. Getting a closure above 400 is pretty strong here, though. They haven't been able to get that done, so let us see. Still here at the 400s. As you can see, this price is acting as a little bit of resistance. You can see on the hourly chart, we did get a real decent breakout with some structure, which is everything. But still, very sideways price action overall. 10:22, market's been open for almost an hour now. Since the initial volatility, we've kind of just been going sideways. Still feels pretty similar to the last few days, just not a whole lot of action. But right now, buyers are still showing some higher prices. They're showing some support, so let's see what happens. EMA being at the 400 is going to be a big price. Buyers want to find some support here. Keep this move going higher. Keep finding some buying here if they want this to continue. It's pretty crazy. Since 10:01, so the last 20 minutes, we've been in like a 30-point range. Last 20 minutes, been in a 30-point range, kind of getting a little tight. EMA, I mean, the VWAP is curling up still. The higher that goes, we'd want that to get to about the 63, so another 15 points, and we could adjust that entry. Right now, though, we're just kind of finding some consolidation after that initial volatility. Buyers are holding the 400 still slightly. If they give that up, it wouldn't be really good. They haven't been able to hold above the 400 for a while now. I think the markets are on a coffee break. No doubt, Sylvain. No doubt about it. Everyone just went off like, hold on. Let me get my tea, please, before we continue. Before I go up some more. The buyers look like they might have given up the 400s. We got a closure back below it. It's not really something you want to see if you want some continuation, since we've had a little bit of a struggle here. Overall, this wick and overnight high, I still think are the draw and liquidity that we're going to be looking for. But we just want to get a dip into, like, you know, get a little bit more of a dip. Back into this 15-minute range, kind of back towards VWAP. We've officially broken out of the trend line now, so I wouldn't really want to see a retest of that. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We're still building some decent structure here. We're kind of just, you know, finding some consolidation at the tops. We haven't broken into the 15-minute range, so buyers are still strong. They have been riding the EMA pretty aggressively. That trend is kind of over now. It's kind of being a little bit more of like an oscillation rather than just riding it like we were. They're trying now. The sellers are taking a little push. 372 is the top of the 15-minute range. Hanging out about 20 points above that right now. See what happens. Get a little dip into there. Every time we've gotten even really close to that 15-minute range, we've just found some buying. Here we go. Trying the previous low here at the 76s that we found some buying off of. Never got into the 72s, which is the 15-minute range. I don't know if our order at 45 will get filled now that we're kind of a few points below the VWAP. We may get missed. Depending on how price ends up delivering to the VWAP, if we do get there, I might adjust our entry slightly, move it up a couple points here, but for now we'll leave it here. About 4 minutes left until the market's been open for a first hour. Still lots of time, no reason to rush anything. Again though, you can see as soon as price got close to this 15-minute range and this previous bottom, we found some more support. So still choppy, still going sideways, but buyers are still here. Getting another push now back towards these previous highs at the 410s. Will this be the move to bring us back to the 40-40 wick here and the overnight high at 444? Really strong bottom formed here. More this is just the reason I like that candle so much is because that's a lot more structure, right? So we're just continuing to build out this bullish structure. VWAP is still curling. So the higher VWAP curls, especially if we can get to this previous bottom here, or even eventually outside of this 15-minute range, we're looking for a pullback to the VWAP at this point. We know that the buying is supporting. We know that buyers are here supporting all these dips. And now we just need to get one into like a spot where we can get a few more higher time frame buyers, which usually people are always participating at VWAP, vice versa, buying or selling. But if we know buyers are here right now, it's a decent spot to find some support. They tried there at the 410s, found some rejection, back to the 380s. We're in a very tight range here. Technically, if you were higher risk, you should just be able to buy the outside of this range. It's been forming for the last 30 minutes, and then just ride it back to the other side of the range, pass an account, or do whatever you're trying to do. We're going to be a little bit more patient, though. I want to see this dip into this 15 minutes. It's been weird to me that we're just kind of holding outside of it. Now we're back below the EMA as well. We'll see how price delivers here. Could get a pull to the VWAP. One of the more definitive sellings we've seen so far. Every time we've gotten into this range, we found some buying. VWAP's now 4.5 points above our fills, so we're going to adjust that slightly. Kind of just keep playing with VWAP here. We want to get filled with VWAP. We want to get a fill with VWAP. We're holding above this 15-minute range. Pretty tight range, but every time we've been coming into it, we've been finding buying. So let's see what happens. We're officially building out better structure, and having this wick be a few points below overnight high and having it just be a strong wick like that, I don't believe this will be left on auction by the market. So I think we'll get a retest of that. Overnight highs right above it for a more clear liquidity. We have lots of liquidity from the previous day also above that range. So overall, we are feeling bullish. Market's up right now, 120 from opening print price. And again, as we get a pullback into this range here, we're finding some strong buying. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. We haven't been able to get over this 410s area with a strong close. So we keep getting rejected. So will this be the time, or will sellers keep loading? Let's find out. The practice account was a winner, Saucy. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was, buddy. Find a spot to buy it and buy it, right? I love it. I love it. That could have been your combine, you know? Could have been the old CB. See if we can get a closure above these 410s now. Every time we've been getting here, sellers are showing themselves and rejecting. Excuse me. Yeah, every time. Now they are trying to hold. They are trying to hold. Market's been open for an hour now officially. We're based above the 15-minute range. We're finding lots of sideways structure, some consolidation. We were hoping for a pullback into this range, at least, maybe even VWAP being right below it to see some continuation. But buying every time we're getting low, just around this, 380 price. Buyers are really enjoying it. So technically, a buying at 380 and selling at 410, that 30-point range is a lot of money to be made right here. Barcoding back and forth so far. Nothing I'm interested in, but that is what we are noticing. And it's still playing true. Sellers kept that previous push down. Now we're pushing back to the EMA, back below the 400s. Let's see what happens here. Back and forth right now. Pretty big moves. Yeah, Sylvain. W's for Brett. W's. W's. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. All right. Sellers pushed it back towards the bottom half of this range now. Really choppy. Really choppy overall. Definitely something to avoid if you're not already got a trade going on. About 27 minutes left here until Europe close at 11. We're finding some consolidation above the 15-minute range. We have a tight 30-point range that's been formed, but right now it's kind of going nowhere. We're barcoding. Want to see the buyers push past this 410 level or see the sellers push past this 375 level, both of which are just kind of being supported on both ends. So that to me is a fair price. Let's see what happens here. First time sellers are trying the bottom of this range again. At the 380s. Every time we've been coming into this price, we're finding strong buying out of it. Here's the EMA. Are we going to get above that and continue back to the other side of the trend, this little range, or are we going to break a little lower now? Overall, this structure isn't bad. It's just very rangy. Here's the first pull into the 15-minute range. Sellers seem like they're trying to break out of it. Will we actually, or will it be supported again? A little doji here. Makes me think we're going to go find the other side of the range. I like our VWAP pullback. If we get a pullback into VWAP, I really like this for 15 points. If, right? And so far, it is looking like buyers are going to bring this from the bottom of the trend, from the range, back to the top of the range. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 times you could have passed a step of a combine or just made some funds on your actual account with this range. Again, nothing I really am interested in just because I'm looking for a long. So I mean, if I was, I'd be on the bottom of the side of this range. But I want to wait for a little bit more patient pullback. I think having this 15-minute range be this top of this and having VWAP be so close, as long as if this keeps happening, VWAP will continue to curl up. It's already moved up a lot. It's only a point above our fill right now. So actually, we might have to adjust for that point. But we're looking for a VWAP pull, at least to try this previous bottom. This was the 10 a.m. bottom that ended up launching. So looking for that minimum VWAP possibly. Otherwise, we're going to find some continuation back toward the top of this range. Excuse me. A little stretch. Felt amazing. Price still hanging out at the 400. We really haven't gone anywhere since, like, you know, this candle. This news candle. It's interesting to me that this bottom is being so much straighter than this top, sort of. We're kind of slowly setting higher, lower highs, which is technically bullish structure if we can continue to hold that. Bearish, I meant. Here we go. Try back into these 75s again, where his price has been supported every time. First time they're getting it into the 15-minute range now. Excuse me. A closure below this range would be big for the sellers. Otherwise, no reason that it won't continue. We're looking for just a little bit lower, just a little bit of a dip. VWAP still curling about 1.5 points above our fill now. This is officially a dip into the 15-minute range, and again, strong reaction from the buyers. So, if you were a range trader and you could identify this range, you could be really ripping this. It's getting out every 20 points, 20 points, 20 points. Very interesting barcode action right now. Overall market on the hourly is kind of showing that we want a breakout, though. Buyers are wanting higher prices. Yesterday's over in the hourly. Yesterday just forms liquidity. Like, that's just so. Yeah, we're looking bullish. Overall, we are looking bullish. We just got to find some support and find some continuation. If we get above these 14s with a close, I'm going to just take a stab long at it anyways. This is going to be completely market order. If we do, if we don't, I'm still looking for our fill down here. We will see. There's only 20 minutes left till Europe closes. Hope everyone else is staying safe, keeping your account alive. The good trade was this morning. Otherwise, we haven't really seen anything too attractive to put support behind or put risk behind, unless you are trading this range. And here's the other side of the range. We're trying for the buyers now on the breakout at the top side. Will sellers still support and hold it down below these 410s? Let's find out. If we can get a candle closure above 412, I will be just market buying. Need a candle closure above here, and we'll try a stab at it. Otherwise, this range is just continuing to be supported, which it looks like it may be. Need a candle closure above the 12s. We didn't get it there. We did not get a candle closure above the 12s for a long. Trend is still validated. 15-minute range is still support. Every time we're getting there, we're finding strength out of it. Pretty crazy to watch this range play out. Just going back and forth. I really wanted to see a test into the range, the 15-minute range, a little stronger than this. Every time we're just wicking it, we're finding some really strong reaction, which again, overall is good. It means that buying is here. They're not weak and they're here. So all we got to really do is get it participating with them, find a good price, which should be the 76s essentially, but I don't love it. As you can see, we couldn't break out of the top of the range at the 12, so we went back inside of it now. Back into the 400s. Very sideways. Since this 10 a.m. candle volatility, we've gone sideways. kind of formed, honestly, a really nice range that we should be willing to try. Kind of want to take a long here. EMA, the VWAP's now 2.5 points above our fill. So we're going to adjust for that. And we're still maybe looking for a VWAP pull to 53s right now. It's been curling up. It's now well over the 50% of the 15-minute range. We're getting closer to the top of it, which will probably be this bottom that we keep finding support at. See what happens here. Get back below the 400s. That will be this range still being held from 412 to 375. About 35 points there, about. We're looking for a fill to 53s. Strong move by the sellers there to get this back towards this range. Come on, one more little pull like that, Nazi. One more little pull like that. Come get us a fill to 53s. And then you can do what you got to do and continue higher, Trying the bottom of this range now at the 75s. Will this break for the first time? Technically, I should just be buying this and willing to take a chance here just because of how many times it's supported. We're going to still stay true to what we think, though, and hold a little longer. Look for a little lower. I want a VWAP test. I don't think we're going to get real continuation until we get higher time frame participants. And higher time frame participants usually like VWAP, either side, buying or selling. And so because we know the validation, we know that their market is looking higher, and we know that buying is strong. Every time we're getting into this range, we're finding some support. So buyers are showing up today. Then all we got to do is find a price that we think that they're going to be interested in, which with this current price action, I don't see anyone else really trying to, like, higher time frame people with like hedge funds and bigger funds to be allocating. They're not going to be taking this range. They're going to be looking for, the actual pullback into a real range before the continuation. So look how sideways this is on a zoomed out chart. Very, very barcodey. Very tough to trade. Let's get a dip though. Nasdaq's teasing this 15-minute range. You got the day off? I do not have the day off. I'm going to be going back to work here in about 15 minutes. I want to get a trade in, but sometimes that's life. Sometimes you don't get it doesn't always set up. We'll see what happens. Maybe we get a little dip into the VWAP before it goes, though, and then I get it, and then, that'd be nice. That would be nice. Still right here at the 385s. A little bit above this range right now at these 77s. 15-minute range is at the 60s, 66, 71s. And I really want to see this VWAP get fired. Right now we're putting an order in slightly above it. But this range, man, this 35-point range from the 75 to the 410s is strong. Back to the other side of the range. So this price, just overall why I really like it. Previous support here yesterday. Previous support here a couple times last week, really. Excuse me, this 350 price. We've already kind of found it as a previous top for pre-market, and now that we're ripping through it, it's also playing as VWAP. I really like it for a a spot that price can trade to. And again, if we can trade to it, I think the higher time frame participants are going to be using it as patience for the long, especially as it's starting to curl up. We have the EMA curled already, crossed over. I like it. Let's see what happens here, boys. I think we might get a chance. We're dipping into the 80s now. Back to the bottom of this range. Can we see it finally break through here and give us a little tap, taparoo? Every time I've wanted to play this range and take a buy here, it feels like it'll be the one time we just rip right through it. Come on, Nazi. 12 minutes till Europe closes. Here's the first try. Let's see this bottom of this range break. We've been in it now for about like 40 minutes. 30-point range, very tight. Still looks as though it may be being held. Every time we're getting close to that 15-minute range here. We're finding some decent support. I'm guessing VWAP is going to just continue to curl to then maybe support this price. Very sideways right now. Being patient, we're looking for a fill to the VWAP, but we may not be getting there. If buyers continue to support this range, eventually we're going to get a breakout, right? So we have this top here at the 412s and the bottom here at the 375s. Right now we're inside of it. This was the buy, ladies and gentlemen. It did not want to try the 15-minute range, and it did not want to try VWAP. It wanted to try the bottom of this range again. Got it. Locked. Super clear. Gotcha. Over the hourly chart is good structure. I like to see the hourly. We've just gone very sideways. Oh, how bad would it be for me to try to short the top of this range here at the 412s? And then it's the one time that it breaks out on the direction that we wanted to go in the first place. It'd be hilarious. Ten more minutes here till Europe closes. I'm going to be getting out of here in about 10 minutes. If you guys haven't hit like yet, please do. Helps me a lot. It means a lot to me as well. I may be sitting on my hands today, not taking a trade, which is not really ideal at all, but we'll see what happens. If we get a closure above these 412s, I'll take a long. I'm going to get a closure above this previous high actually as well now. Still no closure above the 412 there. Same exact candle action as we just seen over here. Sure has, buddy. Here we go. We're getting them pushed now. Get a closure above this price. We'll be taking along. Yeah, it really has, Thomas. Stinks because on this last attempt, I'm like, I might as well just be trying this range too, but I did not. I did not. Has been a very good range for combines, though, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And we didn't buy it. We didn't buy the bottom of this range. We were looking for a little lower. And so now we're here. Now we're here, possibly sitting on our hands. EMA still aggressively curling. We got it. We're trying to break out of the top side of this range now. Volume is starting to pick up. Volume is starting to pick up here. We're going to try to play the top of this range. I only got a couple more minutes here. We're going to try to see if we can get a fill. Ride this EMA. Ride the top of this range. Now that we've broken out to the top side of it, I want to see it continue to hold. Get a try this EMA price before it goes here. Only about 7 minutes left until Europe closes at 11. It's double doji up here. I don't love. Come on, Nazi. Give me a little fill at the 407s and then just go ahead and carry on, you know? Just go ahead and carry on. This isn't my most attractive trade ever, boys, but we're taking it as a breakout of the trend also because I have to get out of here soon. We'll see what happens here. Taking a fill here. The 407s. We're actually at the 6. See if we can get back to the top side of that range now. This isn't my most attractive. Going against the range, big genitals on you. Going against the range, but we're on the outside of it, so I'm trying to see this range continue now higher since we broke on the other side of the range. Want to see this outside edge hold. Get back towards the previous edge of that. See a little bit more here. Just needing a little bit more here, Nazi. And one of the accounts did not follow. One of the accounts did not follow. $2.860. Well, we got the trade, unfortunately. Unfortunately, one of the accounts didn't follow, gentlemen. So now I'm just sitting here kind of like, what the fuck? Oy, oy, oy. Well, it's a good trade. I wish I didn't have to look for another one now. Here's a push. We kind of just pushed overnight high now and this wick. So that's what we were looking for with that pullback trade. Since we broke out of that range, excuse me, we broke to the top side of the range. So I took a long trying to support the top of it. We did find a push back to the 440s now. But I definitely am not going to, I don't know how I'm going to find a trade now in the last couple minutes until I got to get out of here. So I don't know. I'm just going to leave it there. And I don't know. Not cool. Not cool. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that, Nazi? Boomer. But I appreciate you guys hanging out all morning. It means a lot. We'll be back tomorrow doing the same thing all week, every day. I wish I wish that didn't happen to me, but it is what it is. And yeah, again, I really appreciate you guys. Hit like if you haven't yet. Subscribe if you're not. And we figure out that problem tomorrow where we only have 4 accounts now because one didn't want to participate. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out tomorrow. I appreciate you guys. Take it easy. Have a good day. And, yeah, good luck on the charts if you're still trading. Peace.